Are you ready to transform your soul? I'm going to talk about the 5 major stages of a spiritual awakening today. And just to justify, the 5 different stages are really, really deep. So you're going to really want to listen to all of these stages. Number 1, the first stage is the call for truth. So in my journey, I was like literally going and questioning a lot of things. When it comes for truth, a lot of times it may hit you. Like when things don't feel right in your soul and your intuition, and you feel like you've been lied to. You know that feeling when you really feel like that you've been lied to? It's a deep feeling. And the secret to this is if you ask yourself, or if you ask nature, the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, if you ask, you shall receive the answers to what it is that you want. So if you're curious about who your ancestors were, where you come from, why is life the way it is, you'll start to get the answers. But you have to be strong enough, and you have to be focused and aware to the point that you're able to see the signs and the answers. They can come in all different forms, whether that's social media posts. You can see different signs, and you can hear sounds in your head, just voices and messages. You may get a text. Someone may reach out to you. Like, it's so many different signs that you can seek truth within whatever you're questioning. So that is the first stage, I'll say, for me personally, and for a lot of people in this stage. That a lot of people go crazy. um some people take psychedelics, some people force this stage, and they're not even necessarily ready for this stage. But it's just a call for truth, and you're just wanting to know what it is that you've been lied to about. And in the world that we're living in, is so much that we have been lied to about, far as our history and where we come from, and just the way of life. So it's so hard to justify and really go down that journey. And I promise, if you're starting your spiritual awakening, you're not the only one. Everybody has went through this stage. It still means that you're like in the 3D world. You're still navigating, you're still understanding, and it's going to take time. Everybody's journey is different when it comes to calling for truth. And you're going to be in the stage of like, I want to know, I want to know, I want to know, I got to know. And it may not ever stop, honestly. So the second stage, as it transitioned from the call to truth to heightened awareness. Now, I talked about the signs. Now, signs are going to play a big part, and this is what heightened awareness means. This is how you know that you're on the right track. This is how you know you're awakening. This is how you know you're going through a spiritual transformation. You will see the signs. For example, when my father was passing back in 2023, it was the end of the year. I was traveling. I was traveling by car, going on road trips, and I would see like exit signs, time on my phone, and dates and things, and it would be like 111, 222, 333, all these different numbers. So I was like seeing all these different signs along like the journey that I was on, and it was literally so overwhelming at the point, because like when you see the synchronicities, you tend to go first, since you're in the call for truth stage, and go and research, what does these mean? What does 444 mean? Is it 666 evil? Like, you literally will go and research. But what spiritual leaders and content creators, and what they don't tell you, is that you have to make a meaning of what it is that you want it to be, because you are the creator of your own life. So you can't go and research and justify what the definitions are on Google or ChatGPT or your favorite creator. You have to, best thing I like to say when it comes to synchronicities and signs and shifts and all these things that you feel, when you see it, stop and get in the moment and see how you feel. What's going on? Is it an overwhelming time? Are you going through a lot of stress? It may be a time for you to just sit down and calm down, like everything's okay. Or if you're getting a lot of bonuses and a lot of wins and a lot of downloads and a lot of money and income, it may just be your celebration time at that time. So you really have to justify what is going on when I see this sign. And it will get to the point that you will be feeling like you're living in a different dimension than everybody else. So as you seek truth, as you see the signs, you won't even feel connected to everybody like you used to, like your family and your friends and just associates in general. It gets very, very deep and very hard during that time. Is like you start to distance yourself, you start to isolate yourself, and you just start to go within instead of on the outside. So um be noted for that, because that can come up. For me, it really happened. I didn't want to be around anybody, especially going through trauma and death in my family, and also having my son and everything. It was just a lot of different changes, and it was a lot to deal with. So we talked about the call for truth, and we talked about heightened awareness. Let's talk about number 3, healing and shadow work. So as we transition for wanting to know the call for truth and getting the signs and synchronicities from heightened awareness, now you're going through healing and shadow work. People focus on this stage a long time. People feel like you have to heal forever, especially if you went through a lot. And when you go back to your inner child and the things that you went through when you were young and as an adult and all these different stages, it can become overwhelming. A lot of times we try to not even want to think about that. But I will say, in order to move forward, for a lot of people, they do have to go and do the shadow work, only because you have to forgive yourself, or you have to forgive the people who abandoned you or hurt you or anything during that time. So healing is very important. Healing is not just doing the shadow work and going back and forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Healing is healing yourself, healing your heart, healing how you feel about people, healing your mind, healing your health, and making sure you're taking care of yourself. It's so many things in this stage that you must do in order to keep going along the journey of your spiritual awakening. You can't still do the same things that you are doing, period. You cannot still do the same things that you are doing. If you want to change your life and make a shift, or even jump timelines in your life, you have to make a change. Just like they always say, a sacrifice. No, you don't have to kill no one, but you have to make a sacrifice and say, I'm not that person anymore. I don't do those things anymore. Those are not my habits. And I am trying to make a change and be a better me. So that is what I define as healing. And that is also what I define as shadow work. They go hand in hand. So you have to necessarily be like, guys, I'm healing, leave me alone. You don't even necessarily have to make it a big thing. You can just do small things each day to make progress. And here are some examples of some things that you can do: journaling, therapy, giving advice, eating healthier. These are just some things you could just start adding into your daily routine. Like for me, I like to drink my detox tea every day, make sure I have my smoothies, get time to stretch, and just get outside while the sun is still bright. And you just have to find some things that you like that brings you at peace and helps you heal. Journaling has been a big one for me in this past month or so. And it has really helped me when it comes to just going back and doing my inner child work and shadow work, and forgiving myself and others. So that's why this one is so key. This is midway. We're heading over to number 4, heart awakening. Now, this one is so deep. Heart awakening is deep is because when you focus on your heart and love, and this is where you transition from 3D to 4D. Now, I know you always heard about this 3D, 4D, 5D. We're trying to get to 5D. That is the ultimate goal and beyond. So 3D is more necessarily you're still caught up in the world, you're doing all that work. 4D now you're loving people from a space of pure love, pure genuine love. This is when your heart awakens. For me, having my son really helped me awaken my heart chakra, because I never loved someone in that space. Like, okay, you have your mom, you have your dad, you have your significant other, but I gave birth to a child and it was so different. So a mother's love is very different than just loving anything or anybody else in your life. So making sure you have an open heart, moving forward with everything you do, whether that's your business, whether that's your job, whether that's loving other people, that's very important when it comes to trying to transition into the 4D. This is what's going to separate you from the 3D to the 4D. And when it comes to that heart awakening and just that self-love, the question that you want to ask yourself is, what does peace look like for me if I forgive everybody? Like, if you just let go and be the person who you really want to be, what will that look like? Like, just take a moment, think about that. What would that look like for you? That's how you know. If you can vision your future self at peace, happy, rich, wealthy, and successful, and doing all the things you want to do, you have to have a pure heart. Because a lot of times people who are successful and who are doing great things in life and they still have a bad heart, they go through so much trauma and so many things and they're not even at peace. So you want to make sure you're doing the journey in these steps and following the spiritual awakening steps, just because you want to make sure you're living a life where you have faith, you trust the path, and you just show love to everybody. Now, people will try you. I'm not necessarily saying what Jesus did, let them slap you, talk about you. Like, they're going to do that anyway. You don't have to tolerate it. You don't have to be around it, but still love them unconditionally, because you don't know what state they are in. They can only vibrate to the highest of what they even have. So it's very important to understand what level everybody else is at in this heart of pure love. You may want to go and try to save everybody too. I was that person. I went and tried to save my family, save my friends, go and tell everybody about what's going on, what I'm learning. Nobody wanted to hear that shit, but they was at a state that where they were vibrating, it wasn't on the same level of the state that I vibrate. I'm not even saying that I'm necessarily vibrating higher. I'm not saying I'm more than them. I'm just saying we are different and we're at different levels in life. So if they want to make this shift and change and go along a spiritual awakening as well, it will help. They will appear if the time is right. But it's not our job to go and try to save everyone. So I had to put that in there when it comes to heart, because your heart might be so pure to the point you feel like you want to save everybody, and you're going to go right back down the list and go all the way back to shadow work and healing and aware. You're going to go right back to the beginning because nobody's listening to you. That will happen. So I just had to point that in there. Your job is to break generational curses. I completely understand. You want to make that change. But in order to do that, you have to focus on you. And when you focus on you, everything else around you will shift. The last stage. I know I went on a rant. Sometimes when I get deep into what I'm talking about and things that really matter to me, I go down a rant. So as we go to the last and final stage, number 5. Union and oneness. This is number 5. Welcome to 5D. Now you're here. You understand everything is everything. Everything is one. You don't separate you and the next person. You understand they are just another version of you. You are divine. You have activated your crown chakra and you understand life. You understand your purpose. You have clarity. You don't need to ask questions anymore. You don't even necessarily need to see the signs anymore. You went through the whole journey, no matter how long it took for you. You figured it out. You made it to 5D. Now, to stay in 5D, you need a routine. You need to stay balanced. You need to stay grounded. You need to, like, this is a myth. They say always stay at a high vibrational state, always think positive thoughts. Things are going to come up. Obstacles are going to come. You will have negative thoughts in your head, but the thing is how you react. You may notice that back in the day, you probably would have cussed somebody out, but now you react different. You think different. You think before you speak. You think before you act. And now you're at a state where you have healed and you understand everything and everybody and how life goes. It's like psychology. What we learned in college, it's like psychology. Once you understand everything and your purpose and everything, you will understand life. You will understand the purpose. You will want to live freely. You will want to be free. You'll understand you're already free. This is heaven. So you just have to trust the process. No matter where you are in life, how much money you have in your bank account, you just have to trust the process. As they would say, you have to have faith. And as long as you have faith and you're taking actions every day and you're doing great things, you're doing things that you know you're supposed to be doing, everything will fall in line from here. Life will feel easy. Life will feel at peace. Life will feel joyful. And you'll understand that I finally made it. Like, it's a relief. It's really a relief. Now, this may take people time to get here. It may take you just a few months. If you are already spiritually intact, it may take you a few years. Like, it doesn't matter your journey, but you'll get there and go through this spiritual awakening and notice and look back on it like this was a very beautiful thing. Now, to close, I want to ask you guys, what stage are you on? Drop in the comments. Let me know what stage you on. If you need any help or advice or assistance as far as your spiritual awakening, I do have a glow free guide that I'm offering for anyone who just needs that extra push on how to just be at relaxation with themselves. Or if you want to get coaching and help me walk you through your spiritual awakening, in that case, I have that provided as well in the description. But it's time, y'all. It's that season. Fall is that season where the nature is showing you. The leaves are falling off the trees. Everybody's detoxing. I even have a detox tea to help you detox and clean your body. But in this case, everybody is detoxing. The world is detoxing, preparing for the winter and planting those seeds. So by the time spring and all the blossoms, the best season of the year, when spring comes and everything just grows, you will see that progress. Do not let this fall, detox season, this winter, which is sometimes a stressful season for people, holiday season, don't let all of that dictate how you feel and who you are. This is just a season. There are brighter days coming, just like this cycle happens every year. So to close, I just want to state that and let you guys know that I'm so proud of you. If you're even thinking about starting your spiritual awakening, go ahead. Your time is now. It's time to take action. It's time to really find out who we really are. And I'm so excited because there's so many people waking up in the world and understanding this information. And we're even provided with resources with this information. So this is such a beautiful thing. I can't wait for the next videos. Definitely going to do a lot of spiritual videos on this playlist, on this channel. So you stay tuned. And guess what? I got you. And you're supported throughout this journey. See ya.